Hey everyone, and welcome to the Gym Explainer. This one's for all you gym owners, operators, managers, the entrepreneurs and personal trainers out there. Basically, anyone in the trenches of the fitness world. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful white paper by jthomas. And our goal is super simple: give you some real, actionable insights you can use right away. Seriously, you folks are the absolute backbone of the fitness industry. We get it. We know the kind of passion and just sheer dedication it takes to show up and do what you do day in and day out. This whole breakdown, it was made with you in mind. So, all right, let's dive in. Oh, and real quick, before we jump into the main content, for those of you who are maybe looking to open a new gym or acquire an existing one, or you just need some working capital to grow, we can help you with funding options, up to $500,000. The best part, it's unsecured and there are no restrictions on how you use it. So you can check that out over at fmconsulting.net. Okay, let's get right to the heart of the matter, shall we? We all get into this business because we're passionate about fitness, right? But as jthomas points out in his paper, right behind that passion, well, that's where the pressure lives. And it's often this very real but hidden struggle. He calls it the owner's silent struggle. I mean, just think about that for a second. Have you ever felt like that? It is such a perfect analogy for this industry, isn't it? You know that feeling? You're putting in all this effort, constant motion, but you look around and the scenery just never seems to change? This is the starting line for burnout and decision fatigue, and believe me, it's a place where so many gym owners end up. So what does this burnout actually look like? Well, see if any of this sounds familiar. You're working longer and longer hours, but the results just aren't matching the effort. You feel this crushing guilt anytime you even think about taking time off. That initial excitement you had for your big goals, it's kind of fading, and you find yourself putting off the big decisions, mainly because you're just plain tired. And what happens? That feeling, it doesn't just stay with you. It starts to affect your team's morale and even how your members feel. So how do you break this cycle? What's the first step? Well, let me tell you, it's probably not another online course that's just going to cram more information into your already overloaded brain. No, what you really need is a thought partner. What you really need is mentorship. I absolutely love this quote from the paper. A corner man. Think about a boxer. Their corner man doesn't get in the ring and fight for them, right? They're the one who gives them water, patches up their cuts, and gives them that super clear, straightforward strategy when the fighter is too exhausted to think straight. That's exactly what a good mentor does. They are in your corner, 100% focused on helping you win your fight. And here's a breakdown of exactly what that corner man brings to the table. First up, you get decision clarity. Finally, a way to cut through all that noise. Then you get an objective perspective, which is huge because, let's be honest, we're all way too close to our own problems. Next is consistency, which helps you break that cycle of starting strong and then just fizzling out. And this last one is so important. Confidentiality. You finally have a safe space to talk about the real challenges, the stuff you just can't share with your team or maybe even your family. But okay, let's be real for a minute. I bet a lot of you have gotten good advice before, right? Maybe you hired a consultant, went to a seminar, but in the end, nothing really changed. Why does that happen? Well, this next part explains it perfectly. jthomas calls it the accountability gap. And this quote right here, this is so, so crucial. Strategies stay in notebooks. I mean, how true is that? The problem isn't usually the advice itself. It's the follow-through. You can have the best plan in the entire world, but if it's just sitting in a notebook while you're busy putting out all the little fires every day, it's totally useless. That consistent follow-through, that is the absolute game changer. So here it is, the official definition. The accountability gap is simply the space between knowing what you're supposed to do and actually consistently getting it done. That gap, man, that's like a black hole for great ideas. It's where progress just disappears. Closing this gap, it might just be the single most important thing you can do to see real, measurable change in your business. Okay, so how do we close this gap? It's not about just trying harder or having more willpower. It's about having a system. Take a look at this. First, regular check-ins. These force you to actually look at your goals and the things getting in your way. Second, commitment dashboards. This makes everything visible, your performance, your actions, or your lack of action. And third, progress scoring. This kind of gamifies the whole process, making it fun and rewarding to follow through. This is how you build real, unstoppable momentum. All right, so we've got mentorship and accountability. These are two absolutely massive pillars for success. But to build something that's truly going to last, to be truly resilient, you need more than that. You need a complete support system. We're talking about the whole infrastructure: strategic, emotional, and yeah, technical too. And this chart here just lays it all out perfectly. You've got mentorship for that high-level strategy and guidance. You've got accountability to make sure you're consistently following through. But look at what else is here. On-demand access for those oh crap, what do I do now moments with marketing or finances. And then there's tech and compliance and emotional support. This whole thing, it's about building a complete safety net around you so you can go out there, take bigger swings, and lead with a ton more confidence. And let's zoom in on that tech piece for a second, because it is more critical today than it has ever been. Just think about these 3 areas. 1, is your software, your current tech stack, actually working for you, or are you working for it? 2, are you using modern tools, things like AI, to get smarter and more efficient with your marketing? And 3, are you buttoned up and protected when it comes to things like data privacy and liability? Seriously, mastering the tech side of your business isn't a nice to have anymore. It's essential. So when you finally put all of these pieces together, the mentorship, the accountability, the full support system, something really incredible starts to happen. You start to transform. And that's what this last section is all about. It's about your path from being that stressed out, overwhelmed operator to becoming a genuinely empowered leader. And this quote really gets to the core of it. This is a massive mindset shift. You know, that old idea of the heroic founder who has to do everything themselves? That model is completely broken. True leadership, the kind that lasts, isn't about going it alone. It's about building systems of people and technology that actually multiply your strength. That's what frees you up to focus on the things that only you can do for the business. This really just spells it out, doesn't it? The 2 paths. Over on one side, you've got the overwhelmed operator, always reactive, creativity totally drained, and stuck with stagnant growth. Then, on the other side, you've got the empowered leader. They're strategic, they're confident, and they're building something that can scale way beyond their own personal effort. So the real question you have to ask yourself is, which one of those is you, and which one do you want to be? And here's the most important takeaway from all of this. You do not have to build this support system all by yourself. If you're ready to make that shift to stop being the operator and start being the leader, then reach out to Jim Thomas. You can call him directly at 214-629-7223. Again, that's 214-629-7223, or you can shoot him an email at jthomas@fmconsulting.net. And that's a wrap on our breakdown of this incredible white paper. Seriously, thanks so much for tuning in. And of course, a huge thank you to our sponsor, Gym Business Manager. If you're on the hunt for the best software to run your gym, you've got to check them out at gymbusinessmanager.com.